Now it's time to see who has the heart.
If you put your effort and concentration into playing to your potential to be the best that you can be, I don't care what the scoreboard says at the end of the game, in my book, we're going to be winners.
This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
What this college needs is a good football team. And you can't have a good football team unless you have good football players. My boy, I think you've got something there, and I'll wait outside until you clean it up.
Welcome to the Best of Tailgate Talk, where we go back into the archives and hear some of our special guests you may have missed the first time around. We'll be back with the Best of Tailgate Talk after this. Come see all your friends at Applebee's in Athens. 12 minutes guaranteed or it's free Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. 7 items to choose from. Can't make it for lunch? Visit them for happy hour, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. or late night. Half-price appetizers with beverage purchase, 6 appetizers to choose from. Call 233-4430 or order online at Applebee's.com and pick your meal up with Carside to go. Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Highway 72 in Athens, just off I-65. Eating good in the neighborhood. Real estate, real easy. That's the motto at Innovative Realty Solutions, and providing the highest quality real estate services is their mission. With sound real estate advice, the latest information, and a skilled analysis of the real estate market, Innovative Realty Solutions offers a better home buying and selling experience with a fair, ethical, and, yes, innovative process. Innovative Realty Solutions. Visit them on Facebook, online at innovativerealtysolutions.com, at 100 North Clinton Street in Athens, or call 230-5950. Innovative Realty Solutions. Real estate, real easy. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right.
From day one, First National Bank has been built on a strong foundation of community first. First to lend a helping hand, first to help with community events and fundraisers, first to support local students, athletic programs, and civic organizations, first to support events like United Way, Relay for Life, and many more charitable events, and most importantly, working for our great community. Without you, there'd be no First National Bank. Making communities great together, that's what we strive for.
Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
The world is changing.
Changes. The Tailgate Talk app has changed. It's got a new name and a new look. It's now known as PAS Plus, and it's your home for Applebee's Tailgate Talk, along with James Clement Sports and Calhoun Basketball.
Ooh, change never hurt, huh?
Look for the download links at PASnetwork.net or TailgateTalk.net. PAS Plus, Play Action Sports, plus a little extra. PAS Plus from Play Action Sports. Welcome to our last Tailgate Talk show of 2022 on the last day of 2022. It's another best of episode, and if you're an Alabama fan, we'll forgive you for bugging out halfway through the show. You can always go back and listen to the archive, but just be warned, we've got another fun one. This week we feature Nick Buonocore, founder of the Reformed Sports Parent, who passes along some information for those folks who, shall we say, push the envelope with their young athletes. We also feature a couple of lockdown segments from 2020, one with French NASCAR driver Michel Disdier from his home in Nice, and another one with Jennifer Piacenti, who, as we learned, had more going on than just being a Sirius XM radio fantasy sports host. We'll hear a visit we had with David Marinis, associate editor at the Washington Post and author, plus a conversation we had with former NFL cornerback Odie Harris, who came to us straight from the Bahamas. Before we get to that, let's announce our Applebee's Athlete of the Week. Congratulations to Clement's Colby Turner, who picks up an Applebee's gift card and a Tailgate Talk t-shirt. This week's Howl with a Havoc winners are Ashley Gold, Logan Wales, Nicole Castrojohn, Zachary Kane, Christy Howard, and John Salerno. They have all picked up tickets to see the Huntsville Havoc in action later this season. If you'd like to enter nominations for the Athlete of the Week or enter your name for Howl with a Havoc, just go online to tailgatetalk.net. And remember, you can check out the latest results by going to the Tailgate Talk website. Stay with us. The best of Tailgate Talk will be back right after this. P4 Physical Therapy is a new outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in Athens, Huntsville, and Winfield, Alabama, as well as Fayetteville and Knoxville, Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon.
Ardmore Telephone Company has been operating right here in your community since the 1950s. Over the years, we've brought you advanced communication services such as telephone, high-speed internet, and security systems. And going forward, we'll be right here ready to provide you with innovative services and the high level of customer service you've come to expect. At Ardmore Telephone, our proof is the test of time, running decades deep. We're Ardmore Telephone, and we are here to stay. For more details, call 1-800-830-9946 or visit ardmore.net.
When you want to pay your propane bill, talk to someone face-to-face about a problem, or just get that security blanket feeling that your needs will be handled locally, where do you go? Local People's Gas in Athens or Ferguson LP Gas in Ardmore, that's where. Just call Local People's Gas at 230-3600 or Ferguson LP Gas at 423-3320, or drop by one of the offices and ask about their easy changeover plan. They'll treat you like you deserve to be treated and give you that security blanket feeling, knowing that someone is always close by 24/7, 365 days a year. Local People's Gas in Athens, 230-3600 or Ferguson LP Gas in Ardmore, 423-3320. Addiction can have a crippling effect on everyone involved, leading to health problems and behavioral disorders. SOAR Addiction Recovery can help with their comprehensive and confidential treatment. SOAR understands the heartache and pain of addiction and can empower you to re-engage in a meaningful life. If you or someone you know needs help, don't wait. Call SOAR Addiction Recovery. That's SOAR at 374-3858. Located at 30521 Ardmore Avenue in Ardmore. It's time for you to soar. Call now, 374-3858. SOAR Addiction Recovery. Want to howl with the Havoc this season? Now's your chance from Tailgate Talk and the Huntsville Havoc. Just go to tailgatetalk.net and register your name. Then listen to Tailgate Talk Saturday mornings at 10 as we announce the weekly winners of Huntsville Havoc tickets. Howl with the Havoc this season from the Huntsville Havoc, Tailgate Talk, and 1080 WKAC. Welcome back to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
We got him, man. Nick Buonocore. His focus, his purpose, I'm not sure. You told me his website, maybe, on Reform Sports Parent. Nick, welcome to the show because I are one.
Reform Sports Parent. Well, thank you guys for having me. I'm excited, humbled, and grateful to be on. I appreciate you.
Now, I was never a parent. Now, I don't care what anybody else, 99% of humanity says. I was never the parent that would yell at the refs, yell at the kids. I was not that guy, you know. I just wouldn't do it.
And his nose is growing.
Yeah, Pinocchio sticking on out here now. So, no, Nick, tell us about what you got, dude.
So the Reform Sports Parent, so it kind of started as just as a passion project. I played 4 years of college baseball. I played a year professionally, and I have 6 children. So my oldest is 15, my youngest is 18 months, and I've been in and around athletics, youth athletics for the last decade or so, and I've just seen just a culture that is to say the least concerning. And what I'd like to describe it as is it's like the professionalization of youth sports. I mean, it's like, we're not just taking our kids to the park to have a good time, to play, develop. We're taking them there because 7 years old, we got to start the process of trying to get a college scholarship. And I just see the toxicity that it's created. it kind of brought me to a place to where I was like, man, this is not what youth athletics is supposed to be about. And, I just started doing interviews and reaching out to people I know, and, found out pretty quick there's a lot of passion in this space and people that want to see change, for the betterment of kids and their youth sports experience.
Okay, I didn't know if you were talking about like the screaming, yelling parents or something, or I know in my very close relationship with me of travel baseball and how it can get so expensive and so the kids can easily get burnt out on something like that.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, there's so many tentacles to it. The reason I call it the reformed sports parent is because at one point for about a year or two, I was probably one of those parents. I had those, I shouldn't say probably, I was definitely one of those parents. I kind of got bought into, that feeling of like, it was kind of like me, like my experience, like my kids' performance in their 7-year-old baseball game, I would feel that. Like if he did well, it kind of boosted my ego. If he did bad, well, he'd have to hear about it. And, I realized that, like, this is, what am I doing? Like, I'm out of my mind. And I wasn't that much I wasn't a guy I was always coaching, so I wasn't a guy that was a yeller, and as far as that is concerned, but I had those car rides with my kids that weren't comfortable. But yeah, I mean, go to a baseball field, go to a soccer field, go to a wrestling match, go to any athletic event and stand there and just watch parents scream and yell at their kids. And then we wonder why kids want to play video games with their headphones on. Well, so we tell kids, get outside, go play, but then we yell at them the whole time. They're not telling them what to do. So to me, I think kids are hearing a lot of mixed messages out there.
So go ahead, don't Jay.
Nick, I see it now with my son playing T-ball. The coaches take it more serious than the kids. The kids are just out there having fun, and the coaches are just like, well, just such, and they get almost argue with the umpire, and then they argue with other coaches. And I'm like, dude, these kids are out here just to try to have fun and run around and play with their buddies and kids they go to school with. It ain't that bad, dude. Grow up.
There'll come a time for that later on. If they're trying to get that college scholarship, then but.
I think you guys bring up a couple of points here. You talk about the intensity, like, it's a business. So if I'm a coach and I run I don't know if you're referring to a travel organization or a pay-for-play organization, but, those organizations are set up to it's like anything else. Like, they got to keep their doors open. And unfortunately, the culture has gotten such where parents don't want, and I'm not speaking for everybody, I'm speaking of a generalization here, where the consensus is I want my kid to play for the best team, which means they win. And in order to win, right, sometimes we may have to jeopardize the development. Like, it's not, I don't think it's that hard to win at youth sports, right? Just take the best athletes, the biggest kids with the oldest birth dates and go out there and try to crush people. Well, those kids that are 7, 8, 9 that are really good, that doesn't mean they're going to be great athletes. They might not even be playing. But then you mix in the whole thing with parents paying top dollar, and they want return on that investment. So it's like a double-edged sword. Coaches feel that pressure to have to put a good product out there because that's their livelihood in many cases, and parents want return. So, I think the ones that get thrown in the middle and the victims of a lot of it are the kids.
Yeah.
That they're almost looked at as commodities in many instances, if that makes any sense.
Well, what Jay was talking about with his kids are just, like rec ball, and I went and watched them play a few times, and like I said, those kids, I think one of his little boys has just got tired of it and doesn't even want to play anymore.
He plays soccer now.
Yeah, just rather play soccer now. They just get tired of it, and don't want to even play anymore because they just get tired. Sometimes of hearing the coaches. I
got a funny story for you. So I live in Wilmington, North Carolina, and our rec ball league, this is several years ago, and it just happened to be random. So our rec ball league had myself. I played college baseball. I played a year professionally in Europe. And then there was 3 other guys coaching in our league that played minor league baseball. So these were professional athletes out there coaching their kids' team. And then the other coach, so there's like 10 teams, and like half the coaches played pro ball.
Yeah.
One of them was the starting outfielder for the Boston Red Sox. Okay. Todd Nixon. He lives there. So here we are. Half of the league's coaches are comprised of pro athletes. That,
yes.
One of them started for the 04 Red Sox. that broke the curse, right? So
yes,
and I still heard parents questioning their judgment. Like, why does Trot have my kid playing shortstop, or it's not? Why is my kid playing right field?
Yeah,
and I'm going, are you guys out of your? I would never say this, but I'm thinking to myself, do you know how lucky you are? Like, well, I don't know about you, but when I grew up in the 80s and 90s, my coaches, youth athletics and youth baseball, they were wearing jeans and they were smoking Marlboro Red.
Exactly. Absolutely. They just walked right out of work and just get off work. And
and had a cooler in the trunk.
You're lucky. Yeah. I was lucky if they didn't have a flask in their back pocket, which was the culture. Nowadays, parents can have pro athletes coaching their kids for free, in rec ball, and they're still like they don't know what they're talking about. And I'm like, this is just it's like a toxic culture, in my opinion.
Dick, back in the late 60s, or maybe the mid 60s, my granddaddy would be coaching. He was a World War II veteran, and he was. Sorry, I done got tickled. He was coaching the team down at Clemens, sharing cigarettes with one of his players. So, but, we're looking in the 50s. This is in the 50s. This wasn't, Ninja Time soon. So it's definitely
it's a different culture. But when your parents and you're questioning a former World Series champion about where their kid ought to be playing. Yeah, you got issues right there.
And that's the way I see it. I don't think I don't want to come across like all parents are. We all as parents, want the best for our child. But I think we fall victim to this. I think, unfortunately, and this is just my perspective. I've done a lot of due diligence on this, and this. I think there's this. It used to be where, if you want to show your status, I'm going to go get a nice car, or I'm going to do this. Nowadays, it's like, I'm going to show my status by trying to get my kid in the best club or best team and spend $5,000 a season for them to travel. I mean, it's crazy the amount of money that's spent.
It is crazy.
And,
I'm sorry.
The chase. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Nick, we got a scenario for you. Zach will know what I'm talking about. We have a friend of ours that's a coach. He was coming home one night from a game, and he got a text from a mother wanting him to put his son, wanting her to put his son in a different position where he could get more touches with the ball, where he get a better chance of getting a college scholarship.
How old was the son?
He's a senior.
Oh, a senior.
Now this is high school football. This is high school football.
Gotcha.
But because she wanted to hear his name called out on loudspeaker.
You'll get me very fired up talking about this subject. And it's because, and some people don't, some people believe like, no, I'm a firm believer, and the data backs this up, that like high school sports are different. It's a different animal than like what I consider to be youth age, like 12U, 13U athletics, middle school and under. When you're in high school, I get freshman, sophomore year, there's freshmen and JV and stuff, but when you're playing varsity sports, like, kids are trying to go to college. Like, kids are that's competitive. I mean, that's about going out there and putting the best kids in the best positions to help your team be successful. Yeah. And, I think at times, us as parents, people get the misconception that, you forget, like, what happened that my kid is not playing a position or is not getting the playing time? What's wrong with telling your kid, why don't you go out and work harder in the off season? Like, why not use it as an opportunity to teach your kid to go out and earn something? But not a lot of people want to do that.
No, sure don't.
That's for sure.
It's crazy, Nick, nowadays. And like I said, so tell us. Okay, I've got your Facebook page pulled up. So you've got your Facebook page and you got a website also. Is that what you've got?
Yeah, what I've been doing here, I probably have somewhere in the ballpark of 205 recorded interviews with coaches and athletes of all different calibers. I'm talking, Jim Calhoun, former coach of UConn, to Michael Phelps' coach Bob Owen, to high school coaches, to pro athletes, and all different Olympians. And I'm debating about, do I start just releasing it in podcast format, or do I start releasing? So what I've been doing is releasing like quotes from each one of the interviews, or like several of them, and putting the content out there and sharing it, and then, of course, posting it on the website. So, it's only been 10 months. I mean, I just started this 10 months ago, and it's taken off so quickly, but I have so much content that I'm still trying to figure out the best way to disseminate it to the public, because people need to hear this stuff, and there's so many coaches and athletes that want to tell the truth. Like, one of the big misconceptions nowadays is specialization, like early sports specialization. Like, at 7, 8, 9 years old, in order for your kid to play in college, they got to play one sport year-round, and that's just not true.
No, sir, not at all.
It's not true, but that's what's being sold, and a lot of people believe that, and kids are getting injured, they're getting, burnt out, they're having physical injuries, Tommy John surgeries. I don't know if you know this stat, but I spoke to Tom. 60% of Tommy John surgeries today are happening on kids between the ages of 16 and 19 years old.
Yeah.
And that's a grown man overuse professional injury that's now turned into a teenage injury from overuse. Crazy
is right.
Hey, I know we're about to have to let you go, Nick, but there's on your Facebook page, there's a video I hope everybody will go watch. I think you put it out there Wednesday, and I got to go watch. It said, have you stopped recruiting a player because of a parent? That's got to be a good one.
There is, and it's got a lot of heat. A lot of people don't want to hear it, but I got to tell you, every single college coach, and I've talked to Division I, like the highest level, to Division III, JUCO, NAIA. Every coach I've asked the question, like, do parents come into consideration during the recruiting process? They have all said absolutely. They have scratched kids off of their recruiting list because parents are overbearing. They don't want to deal with it. And why should they? They don't have to.
Yeah.
Well, I was blessed, Nick, that my son was able to play 4 years of Division III college football. So he got a degree, graduated cum laude, and got a championship ring. So proud, very proud of that young man and how he done.
That is awesome. That doesn't matter what level you play. It's all about the experience.
Absolutely.
Thank God, he's one of the. And people don't realize how lucky you have to be to go even play at a Division III or D2 or NAIA school. Not everyone can do that. That's next level stuff. Good for him.
And there's grown men in Division III. If you don't believe me, go watch some Texas football.
Oh yeah,
absolutely, buddy. Nick, thank you so much, man. Don't be a stranger. Come back and join us again, and hope to bring you back on Tailgate Talk.
I can't thank you guys enough. Keep up the great work. I truly appreciate you letting me come on.
Thank you, Nick.
Buddy.
Have a good one, Nick.
Thank you. You too, sir.
That's Nick Buonocore from Reform Sports Parent. Find him on the Facebook. Absolutely,
I'm serious. Go pull that up on Facebook.
Good stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to take a quick break.
Limestone Drug, located on the square in downtown Athens, is your local Health Mart pharmacy. As your local Health Mart pharmacy, Limestone Drug is locally owned and has a personal commitment to the community. Limestone Drug honors prescription drug plans, including Medicare. They accept flex spending cards and fill prescriptions in minutes, not hours. Limestone Drug knows there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. So shop Limestone Drug at 200 West Market Street in Athens, your local Health Mart pharmacy. Limestone Drug, caring for you and about you.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State Hometown Team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
If you're looking for an alternative to the insane prices of buying furniture, appliances, and electronics outright, why not consider rent-to-own at Buddy's Home Furnishings in Athens? High quality at low prices. Top brands like GE, Maytag, Samsung, and Ashley. No credit approval and flexible payment options. See what you can take home today. Visit Buddy's Home Furnishings in Athens at 600 South Jefferson Street in the Athens Shopping Center. Go online to buddyrents.com or call 206-9505. Buddy's Home Furnishings. Here's Brittany Olson, owner of Balanced Boot Camp.
I train at Athens Rec Center, and then I also train as a group fitness instructor at Elkmont's Rural Village. My class is special in that I know what it's like, 100 pounds overweight. So I set my class up for all fitness levels. We offer weightlifting, we do bar, we do yoga, we do HIIT. I always say I started out with the goal of keeping up with my kids, and now my kids have to keep up with me.
Start the new year off right. Contact Brittany through the Balanced Boot Camp Facebook page for group or online fitness, meal plans, personal training, and more. Balanced Boot Camp, fitness for all.
Loose ball taken away. Warhawks have it. Nice little give and go. 2-on-1. Bucket is good.
Join Play Action Sports as we bring you coverage of Calhoun basketball this year. The Warhawks are tipping off their first season on the hardwood in over 20 years, and you can hear live action from men's and women's teams streamed on the PAS Plus app or online at pasnetwork.net. Check out the archives on the Play Action Sports website or on your favorite podcast platform, too. You can also hear select games on Sunday afternoons on WKAC Radio. Calhoun Warhawks basketball is back, and we're here to bring it to you from Play Action Sports. You're listening to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
This is, ladies and gentlemen, Michel Disdier, NASCAR Gander RV and Outdoors Truck Series driver, all the way from Nice, France. So we're looking at your profile. I mean, you've done a lot of motorcycle racing and stock car racing in Canada as well.
Yeah.
Tell us about your career, Michel.
Tell us about your career and what is your favorite. I mean, obviously you're in NASCAR now, but what's your favorite of all that you've driven is? I guess.
What in NASCAR or in all the series?
All of them. What's your favorite?
All of them. Talk about all of them.
100% NASCAR for me now.
Yeah,
100% NASCAR. I hear you.
100%. Since I've been in NASCAR and I drove stock car racing, I really enjoy those cars, those kind of racing, and the fans were actually fantastic with me and with all the drivers. And it's really what I was looking when I was racing in Europe. I was looking for a big challenge. And most of the people in Europe say I was crazy to believe that I would be able to go to NASCAR and to race in NASCAR. But I just followed my dream, like many drivers does. And I put one feet and the second, and now I want to put everything in NASCAR. I want to be a full-time racer, but it's a big challenge for a European driver because we don't have oval tracks, we have a few, but not like you have in United States, and we drive more road course racing. Yeah.
Now, are you able to do the sim practice with some road courses like they're doing in the virtual series races now?
Yeah, actually, I've been contacted by a promoter of virtual racing, and we will start in a few weeks. But it will be only road course for now. But maybe I'd like to get to the virtual NASCAR racing also. So I just have to train now because I'm not I'm not really practicing virtual racing. But it's a few times I've done that. I understood that I was not so bad. So maybe with some training, I will be able to do some good racing.
and for the virtual racing, you have to have sponsors just like you would for a car on the track, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's good for them because especially with the corona, the COVID-19, everybody is locked at home, so everybody is looking the social medias and those virtual racing are very, very high now. And especially NASCAR, I heard that NASCAR was the top of the racing on virtual racing now, more than Formula One and MotoGP or
wow.
Yeah.
Well,
that's actually good.
So yes.
That's actually good for us to show that NASCAR is not only viewed in United States, but more and more we have fans in Europe, we have fans in France. All over the world, and that showed that actually.
Now, I have to tell you, Michel, I'm an old dirt track racer myself.
Okay.
So I've got us one season, 2005, where I won a track championship.
Wow.
So having said that,
I have two favorite races in the outdoors Gander RV and outdoors truck series. The first one is Daytona. Daytona's always the best for me.
Yeah,
but that second one is the dirt track race at Eldora that Tony Stewart produces.
Yes.
Is there a chance you'll ever get to drive on the dirt there in Eldora?
I'd love to do that because I was a teacher of ice driving, ice driving. Ice driving. That is awesome. When I started to be a race car driver, I was walking on the track, ice track, and I was teaching people how to drive on the ice. So I'd love to try on the dirt also. I see a lot of video about dirt, and it looks really impressive and very exciting. Yeah.
You need to teach folks here in Alabama how to drive on the ice, that's for sure.
Yeah.
We don't know how to drive around here.
We don't have spikes on
We don't get much of it.
Yeah.
Michel, you was talking about the virus. How are y'all dealing with it over in France right now?
For now, we're still locked home, so most of the people stay home. I'm just going out sometimes just to make my running, to stay fit because I have to be fit when it will be over. But most of the time I'm staying home, and all the restaurants are closed, all the bars, all the hotels, most of the airlines company are closed. So it's a very difficult times for all the world actually. We are all connected with that, unfortunately. But
absolutely.
I'm a kind of positive guy, so I just think we will survive with this, but it will be a hard time for sure for many people, and I cannot complain with my situations for sure. We were in a way to finalize a few races this year in the Xfinity series. So I was very, very excited with that. And my first race would be at the end of March at the Texas race. But then we had to stop everything for now.
Wow.
And but we will push again more, and we will find some way because we have something very special, and I know that we have the place to be in NASCAR now, and we prove that we finish every racing. I never wreck, so that's good. That's already positive. With a very limited practicing, because the last race I did in Las Vegas, I arrived the morning, I did 16 laps. Only 16 laps, and then I was 6/10 less faster than Kyle Busch, and it is his track. It's the cars. He has a very good cars, but we feel that we can do a good job. So we will pursue for sure, and we will work harder.
We'll be back with more of our Tailgate Talk conversation after this. Real estate, real easy. That's the motto at Innovative Realty Solutions, and providing the highest quality real estate services is their mission. With sound real estate advice, the latest information, and a skilled analysis of the real estate market, Innovative Realty Solutions offers a better home buying and selling experience with a fair, ethical, and, yes, innovative process. Innovative Realty Solutions. Visit them on Facebook, online at innovativerealtysolutions.com, at 100 North Clinton Street in Athens, or call 230-5950. Innovative Realty Solutions. Real estate, real easy.
Ardmore Telephone Company has been operating right here in your community since the 1950s. Over the years, we've brought you advanced communication services such as telephone, high-speed internet, and security systems. And going forward, we'll be right here ready to provide you with innovative services and the high level of customer service you've come to expect. At Ardmore Telephone, our proof is the test of time, running decades deep. We're Ardmore Telephone, and we are here to stay. For more details, call 1-800-830-9946 or visit ardmore.net.
P4 Physical Therapy is a new outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in Athens, Huntsville, and Winfield, Alabama, as well as Fayetteville and Knoxville, Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right. Come see all your friends at Applebee's in Athens. 12 minutes guaranteed or it's free Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. 7 items to choose from. Can't make it for lunch? Visit them for happy hour, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. or late night. Half-price appetizers with beverage purchase, 6 appetizers to choose from. Call 233-4430 or order online at Applebee's.com and pick your meal up with Carside to go. Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Highway 72 in Athens, just off I-65. Eating good in the neighborhood. Be listening for Limestone County area high school basketball this season from Play Action Sports. Hear coverage of girls and boys action from ABS, Ardmore, Clements, East Limestone, Elkmont, James Clemens, Lindsay Lane, Tanner, and West Limestone online at PASnetwork.net on your Amazon Echo device or on your Play Action Sports app. Afterwards, you can download each game from the archives or stream it on demand. While you're there, check out our schedule of upcoming games. Limestone County area high school basketball from Play Action Sports. We continue with our conversation on the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC. You talk about being locked in and all. I've seen some of your videos that you've posted, I guess, just for lack of just something to do. You know, he's had videos of vacuuming the floor with his suit on and his helmet and everything. And
We are trying to entertain people. You know, I know it's hard for so many people actually, and we try to make some humor. You know, to make some entertainment for people, and I found this way, and apparently people like it. So I just try to continue and to make something a bit crazy, but still with a lot of humor.
Yeah.
And I'm happy if people like it. But I see many racer does that now, and I see some MotoGP racer are doing some videos or some pictures, funny pictures. I mean, we have to keep positive and to make some jokes with the situations. Actually,
yeah,
that's awesome.
I hate you missed the Texas race because the facilities there in Texas at Texas Motor Speedway are outstanding.
Oh yeah,
it's one of the nicest tracks around. It used to be, anyways, when I was working with NASCAR.
I've never been to Texas, and I love to discover Texas. That will be the first time for me, and I'd like to see a rodeo, you know, or something really.
Oh yeah, you'd like a rodeo, Michelle.
I'd love that. I know there's a Frenchman doing rodeo in the United States. I don't know if you know him, but I know there's a Frenchman doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know that.
When they say everything's big in Texas, it is. The steaks and everything. The steaks are like this big and then that thick. I hadn't been out to Texas in a few years, but I used to love to go out there.
I'm here, man. So being the first Frenchman since the 70s to be in NASCAR, and I know obviously y'all don't have the facilities and everything over there, but to practice and get into it and all those things. But I mean, between that and so, I guess what I'm trying to ask is, being from France, trying to get into an American sport, are you finding it hard to get endorsements or harder to get endorsements? I know right now everything's tight, but are you finding it harder because of that?
I know what you mean, and it seems a kind of unbelievable things to do, but when I was in Europe, I was really excited to find a way to get to NASCAR, but I didn't know that much NASCAR and the history and the driving. I was not sure that I would be able to drive on the speedway and on super speedway. So I had to find a way to find a team to get a test, and to confirm if I was able to do it and if I like to do it, because as a race car driver, you need to like to drive, the cars that you will drive, If you don't like the way to drive, you cannot go fast. And I was not sure to be happy with oval tracks and to be excited with this driving. So I did a test with Mario Gosling, the Canadian
Mario, Super Mario.
Yeah, exactly. And and it brought me to Michigan, the Michigan Speedway, which is not at all the first place to go when you do a first test on Speedway. You should go to a short tracks, but not Michigan.
Not Michigan.
Not Michigan.
Wide.
Yeah,
wide Speedway.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. But fortunately, we had some good issue, and I didn't wreck. And I felt a lot of excitement to drive the car. The position is so much different that the kind of position we have in Europe, on single seater or on GT cars, and everything is different. But I felt good, and then I decided to focus really on NASCAR and to find a way. So I get to the ARCA series with Todd Boucher, which is a very good team, and they teach me everything they could. We didn't have that much money, that much sponsor, but we figure out to finish the race, as a practicing. My goal was always finish the race, then you will improve yourself. Don't wreck, and it's what we did, and we never wreck. Yes, once I wrecked, but I could finish the race with Frank Kimmel. Yeah, but
that's big.
Yeah,
that is big. When you can bring those cars are not cheap.
I was racing behind him. I was in the same position of him, and he wrecked, and then I could not avoid him. But I don't blame him. We were really fast, but normally Frank is a very, very good driver. He never wrecked. And this time I was going to do my sixth position. He was five, and that would be my best result. And unfortunately, he touched the wall, and I could not avoid him. But we ended the race, and that was the most important, actually. But sure. Coming from Europe to get to NASCAR is, it's a kind of it's not easy. It's not easy, but it's not impossible, actually.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now you had
sorry.
You had a pretty famous spotter in one of your races. Bobby Dotter was one of your spotters.
Yeah.
At one time. That's a lot of experience there in your ear. That had to be. Talk about that a little bit.
I got always very, very good spotter, and team owner, and they teach me everything that I needed to have, and their experience was really important for me to get, and I was really, really following their advices. I was taking everything that they could give me, and I was really glad to be with them, with those guys, and with the last team I was in Las Vegas. I missed the name now. It will come later. But Bobby was a very, very nice guy, and but our budget was really limited, and we did the first time Daytona, and we could find a very good sponsor. So we had a very good engines, and after a few laps, we lost the side window. I don't know if you remember that. Yeah, and that was crazy for us, because we knew we could have a good result, and because we lost the side window, we didn't have any side window on the pit, so they had to go to the truck. They had to find one, and they had issue to fix in the car. So I lost like 20 laps, and the race was done, and it was really hard for me because it was my first NASCAR race in Daytona. So you imagine how much pressure we had, and so we came back 2 years later, and we did a very good result. We finished 11th. So that was a payback for for 2014. But yeah.
An 11th place finish at Daytona in any series is good.
Yeah, that's very good.
Absolutely. Real good.
Yeah.
Now, was that Young Motorsports? Young's Motorsports?
Yeah, exactly. Young Motorsports. Yeah.
Guys, I don't know if y'all
highlight so far. Go ahead, Timmy.
No. Just this is. I can say this anytime.
Well, I'm just going to ask Michelle what his highlight has been so far in the NASCAR series.
What is
your favorite moment? Your highlight? Your favorite moment?
I mean, in the ARCA series, I was really glad to discover all new tracks. All new tracks was a huge experience for me and a huge deal. Because we always arrived in the morning at the track. I didn't know the track. We had to go very fast, to find the setup of the car and to find the driving, the good driving. So all races in ARCA was really special for me in 2008 and 2009. But maybe when I did my first Daytona race in the ARCA series, we end up the last qualifying at the first position. So that was something really incredible for us. And I had a problem with my spotter. Actually, the radio was not working. So I went on the track without spotter.
Oh wow!
Wow! Yeah, I know, and I was in stress because I was thinking maybe ARCA will remove my license if they understand that I don't hear anybody. But I felt so good in the car, and I felt the speed. I felt I was with another driver. We were only two to do the drafting, and then I after some laps I decided to stop because I was afraid that they will find out that I didn't have any spotter. And then I stop, and then they say, "You know what you did?" I say, "No." I say, "You first."
So, maybe you don't need them talking in your ear after all.
No, I didn't know.
Leave me alone. Don't talk to me.
Maybe I don't need spotter. No, I'm joking.
Speaking of a spotter, I mean, I've always wondered this. Like, you're driving, you're going so fast, and you're just inches, off from either you may have somebody to your side or in front or maybe driving 3 wide, whatever.
Yes.
I can't imagine having to put that much trust in somebody up on top of a, track telling me what to do, man. I mean, how do you develop that trust, I guess is what I'm asking.
Yeah, and especially when I was in the ARCA series in 2008 and 2009, Todd Bosher was my spotter. So each races, I was with him, and I was really confident with him. And we practice, the way to give a good communication when I was racing, because I'm a Frenchman, and sometimes you have an accent or you have different words that I don't catch at the moment I need to catch, especially when you go so fast. So we find some words that it was really clear for me in my head. And with Todd, I was really confident with him, and I was trusting him like a blind guy. He would tell me, go fast, Sam. If there is some cars, I will go fast. But yes, since I'm in the truck series and I did Daytona with another team, with Cunningham Racing, I had always a different spotter. And the spotter I discovered sometime the day before the race. So that was also very, very difficult for me to be confident in them, because we didn't know each other, and you are American, they have different accents. But fortunately, we get lucky, and I never wrecked. But that was also difficult because guys, that when you have your own spotter, it's a big difference. Yeah. It's a big difference.
Well, I got to be a spotter once in a Busch Series race in Mexico City for Randy LaJoy.
Okay.
I got to sit up in the middle of all of the Mexican people in Mexico City, and I had my little corner of the track that whenever they come through. So you imagine hearing this accent in your ear? It could be.
Slide up.
But You know what Todd Bosher told me once? He said, at the end, you're the boss in the car. If you don't feel, even if I tell you do that, but your instinct says don't do that, follow your instinct.
Yeah.
You know?
That's interesting.
Yeah, and sometimes I did that, and I think it's helped me also to feel my instinct sometimes.
Yeah.
Y'all talking about instinct? I think our female audience has doubled since Michelle came on the air with us.
Really? I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you're not having a rough time with the ladies, baby.
Well, if the females could see the video, they probably would.
Well,
and I understand
they
your pain,
wouldn't be coming
Michelle.
for us.
I understand your pain.
I'll have pictures.
I get that all the time.
We need some followers on Instagram and Facebook. Come,
yes.
everybody.
They're not coming for me, Michelle. I guarantee
Well, I'll post our Brady Bunch picture here in just a little while. So
there you go.
There you go.
So speaking of females,
I don't know if you see behind me. I put a photo of it's a French photographer. Can you see that?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, and he's following me since the last racing. He's following me, and he's taking a lot of photography, and he's a very good guy. He's from France, and
that's a good photograph.
Yeah.
It's a great,
That's it. Michelle,
speaking of which,
go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know the producer headset was on. I had one more question, but I'm gonna let it slide.
Go.
Go ahead. You got permission.
I was just gonna ask about. So you like art, right? Don't you do some art yourself?
Sorry.
Do you do art yourself? Do you draw, paint? Don't you do some of those things?
If I'm painting?
Yeah. Do you paint?
Yeah, I'm painting. Yeah.
Okay.
How do you know that?
I did a little research, man.
All right.
He Googled.
Art, it's another passion that I have, and I always thought that after my racing career, I will try to be an artist and to paint and to do some sculptures. I love that, but I know it's really hard to live with that and to get money with that. It's already hard to get money as a race car driver.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
Michelle, thank you so much for joining us, man. This is a great time.
It's been awesome.
Thanks, we appreciate it.
It was a wonderful time, and I'm really glad that you're having me in the show, and I hope I can give you some good information in a few weeks and some good news.
Yeah.
But we'll push harder and harder to be back, and my dream is just to be in NASCAR and as much as I can.
As we say,
we're rooting for you, buddy.
We're rooting for you.
Thank you very much.
Stay safe.
Like you stole it, buddy.
Thank you very much, guys.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, see you, bud. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Michel Disdier. It's time to take a quick break.
Ardmore Telephone Company has been operating right here in your community since the 1950s. Over the years, we've brought you advanced communication services such as telephone, high-speed internet, and security systems. And going forward, we'll be right here ready to provide you with innovative services and the high level of customer service you've come to expect. At Ardmore Telephone, our proof is the test of time, running decades deep. We're Ardmore Telephone, and we are here to stay. For more details, call 1-800-830-9946 or visit ardmore.net.
From day one, First National Bank has been built on a strong foundation of community first. First to lend a helping hand, first to help with community events and fundraisers, first to support local students, athletic programs, and civic organizations, first to support events like United Way, Relay for Life, and many more charitable events, and most importantly, working for our great community. Without you, there'd be no First National Bank. Making communities great together, that's what we strive for.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon.
Limestone Drug, located on the square in downtown Athens, is your local Health Mart pharmacy. As your local Health Mart pharmacy, Limestone Drug is locally owned and has a personal commitment to the community. Limestone Drug honors prescription drug plans, including Medicare. They accept flex spending cards and fill prescriptions in minutes, not hours. Limestone Drug knows there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. So shop Limestone Drug at 200 West Market Street in Athens, your local Health Mart pharmacy. Limestone Drug, caring for you and about you.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State Hometown Team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
The Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship has been set up to honor the legacy of Bama Zach Green, a huge fan of the Crimson Tide, along with Limestone County sports. The scholarship will go each year to a male and female athlete from Limestone County. Checks should be made out to Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship and can be sent in care of Garth Garris, 13833 Pinnacle Drive, Athens, Alabama, 35613. Donations can also be made in person at First State Bank of the South at 1319 Highway 72 East in Athens. Thank you for showing your support for local athletes by giving to the Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship. Keep up with Athens and Limestone County sports with a Play Action Sports Report. Look for it every Wednesday on your favorite podcast platform. The Play Action Sports Report. Scores, interviews, highlights, and more from school, youth, and amateur sports in Athens and Limestone County. The Play Action Sports Report every Wednesday on your favorite podcast platform or online at pasnetwork.net. Welcome back to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
Now we got a very special guest here. His name is David Marinus. He is the author of Path Lit by Lightning, The Life of Jim Thorpe. David, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. It's a little rainy here. I'm in Madison, Wisconsin, but everything's good.
Okay, great. Well, we really appreciate you taking the time to speak to us about this book that it's huge.
Well, thank you. I'm delighted to talk with you.
Yes, sir. So really where I want to start off is you mentioned in the book how you call him a mythic talent. Talk to me a little bit about, the myth of Jim Thorpe, being in the era he was, and about, just the more of the legend about him and his story.
Well, it's hard to compare athletes from different generations because of differences in diet and training and equipment and so on.
Yeah.
But Jim Thorpe was a mythic talent. What he did is unparalleled in American sports history before or since. No one else has won the decathlon and pentathlon in the Olympics, been an All-American football player twice, the first great pro football player, the founder and first president of what became the National Football League, and a Major League Baseball player.
Yeah.
That trifecta is unparalleled, and that was Jim Thorpe.
Well, yeah, no, you also talk a little bit about what he overcame. So not only was he this mythic figure, but he was also, very, very much targeted for, his background. Talk to me a little bit about, the obstacles he overcame in that regard.
Yeah, the reason I wrote the book is because I could see both the drama of his story and illuminate American history and sociology through his life. Jim Thorpe was born in Indian Territory. He was a member of the Sac and Fox Nation. He was a descendant in the clan of the great Sac and Fox warrior Black Hawk. He went off to an Indian boarding school at age 16. The motto of the boarding schools was kill the Indian, save the man. In other words, take all of the Indianness out of them, rid them of their culture, their language, their religion, cut their hair and dress them in the uniforms of the U.S. Cavalry, and try to assimilate and acculturate them into white society. And that represented a lot of what he had to deal with throughout his life.
Okay, and I feel like that plays a huge role not only into his success, but also the myth of him is that he had to deal with all these other things that were completely non-sports related.
Oh, absolutely. And even, at the height of his fame when he won those gold medals, they were taken away from him. They were rescinded for nefarious reasons. He had played minor league baseball in the Bush Leagues for 2 summers when he was at Carlisle, in the Eastern Carolina League. But literally, Adam, hundreds of college athletes were playing summer league baseball then for a little bit of pay. Most of them were doing it under aliases. Dwight Eisenhower, the future president, played under the name Wilson in the Kansas State League. But Jim Thorpe played under the name Jim Thorpe. And when the story broke that he had played after the Olympics, several important people denied that they knew what he was doing when they did know, just to save their own reputations.
Right.
And in essence, it was easier for them to throw this Native American under the bus than to acknowledge the whole system was corrupt.
Interesting. And, I just kind of want to segue off that to, talk to me a little bit about how you came up with the title of the book, Path Lit by Lightning.
Sure. Path Lit by Jim Thorpe was born in 1887 along the banks of the North Canadian River in central Oklahoma. And there was a thunderstorm the night when he and his twin brother Charlie were born, and he got the name Path Lit by Lightning. It's the Sac and Fox name for him, translated from Wathohawk, and that's where I got the name. And it's both a poetic name and it illuminates his life.
Yeah, no, I find that very interesting, that because you really encapsulate, his Native American background while also coming up with, really what his path was.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And it was a long and interesting path. Believe me, I've never encountered somebody who during his lifetime met so many interesting people. He played football against Dwight Eisenhower and Omar Bradley, the other general in World War II. On his Olympic team in 1912 was George S. Patton. He went to Hollywood and acted with Bob Hope, and Burt Lancaster played him in the movies. He played baseball against Negro Leaguers greats Satchel Paige and Josh Gibson. Sat in the dugout with Babe Ruth. Just everybody sort of went through Jim Thorpe's life.
Interesting. And, without really revealing too much about the book, because obviously, I want people to read it and, discover it for themselves. But talk to me about something that really struck you when you were doing your biography on him, doing your background research, something that, really stood out to you that maybe you weren't expecting?
Well, one of the things I wasn't expecting actually has to do with football, which was his coach at Carlisle was Pop Warner, famed Pop Warner of youth football. And he was a terrific coach, very inventive, one of the first proponents of the forward pass, developed a single wing and double wing offense. Mm-hmm. But Pop Warner was not a great human being. And, during Jim Thorpe's career there, the Native American players who played for him rebelled against him and said that he was both mentally and physically abusive. So, kind of interesting other side of the story to Pop Warner.
Yeah, so it's just interesting that you learn things about other people while you're doing this biography on one person.
Well, the people that intersect with his life in various ways. Yeah, as for Jim Thorpe himself, there were so many parts of his life that surprised me. I didn't realize that after his athletic career was over, he went out to Hollywood and was really in 70 movies, as an extra or in small parts, and was really the leading spokesperson for about 200 Native Americans who were in the fringes of the studio system trying to get jobs and urging the studios not to hire white people and to play Indians in the Westerns, which they were doing a lot of.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay. And, furthermore, do you talk any about, he has an award named after him, a very, very big college football award. Do you talk any about that in the book?
He was in his era, in Jim Thorpe's era, the football players played 60 minutes. Mm-hmm. They didn't come out of the game. So he was a brilliant left halfback. and also a great defensive back / linebacker.
Right.
And the college award is for the greatest defensive back.
Yep.
And Jim Thorpe was terrific at that. He could literally do anything on a football field. He was not only a great runner and tackler and defensive back, but he also was a great punter, probably the best punter of his era. He could punt the ball 70, 80 yards routinely. He was also a place kicker. He won many important games with his field goals and drop kicks. So he could literally do it all, and playing defensive back was part of that.
Well, we got this Heisman guy. Maybe we just need to change the Heisman Award to the Thorpe Award.
He was a better player by far than Heisman, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I think that's very interesting. He's kind of like the original, like, everything man, for lack of a better term. He's a Hollywood guy. He's a football guy. He's a baseball guy. He's a little bit of everything. A lot of everything, actually.
I mean, all around. I mean, that's what the decathlon is, right? It's 10 different events. And he was great at that. So he was even a great ballroom dancer. He could play ice hockey. But that's not to say that his life wasn't troubled. It was. After his career was over, he struggled in various ways. Some, because of society's prejudices, some of his own doing. He struggled with alcohol throughout his later life. And so, it's not an entirely triumphant story, but it's one of perseverance and enormous talent.
Well, I guess when you're a biographer, you gotta highlight everything, and I think what that highlights is that none of us are perfect, and that all of us go through our own struggles.
Oh, absolutely. There's no such thing as the perfect human being, and people can identify with somebody who struggles and keeps going and perseveres, and that's the story of Jim Thorpe.
Back with more of our Tailgate Talk conversation after this. Here's Brittany Olson, owner of Balanced Boot Camp.
I train at Athens Rec Center, and then I also train as a group fitness instructor at Elkmont's Rural Village. My class is special in that I know what it's like, 100 pounds overweight. So I set my class up for all fitness levels. We offer weightlifting, we do bar, we do yoga, we do HIIT. I always say I started out with the goal of keeping up with my kids, and now my kids have to keep up with me.
Start the new year off right. Contact Brittany through the Balanced Boot Camp Facebook page for group or online fitness, meal plans, personal training, and more. Balanced Boot Camp, fitness for all. Are you getting the propane service you deserve? At Ferguson LP Gas in Ardmore, you always get the most value for your dollar, professional gas personnel who make safety a high priority, and you can always get in touch with them any day of the year at any time. They accept Visa and MasterCard too. So if you're not happy with your present propane supplier, join the many who have made the switch. Give Ferguson LP Gas in Ardmore a call at 256-423-3320. Real estate, real easy. That's the motto at Innovative Realty Solutions, and providing the highest quality real estate services is their mission. With sound real estate advice, the latest information, and a skilled analysis of the real estate market, Innovative Realty Solutions offers a better home buying and selling experience with a fair, ethical, and, yes, innovative process. Innovative Realty Solutions. Visit them on Facebook, online at innovativerealtysolutions.com, at 100 North Clinton Street in Athens, or call 230-5950. Innovative Realty Solutions. Real estate, real easy. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right. Be listening for Limestone County Area High School basketball this season from Play Action Sports. Hear coverage of girls and boys action from ABS, Ardmore, Clements, East Limestone, Elkmont, James Clemens, Lindsay Lane, Tanner, and West Limestone online at pasnetwork.net on your Amazon Echo device or on your Play Action Sports app. Afterwards, you can download each game from the archives or stream it on demand. While you're there, check out our schedule of upcoming games. Limestone County Area High School basketball from Play Action Sports. We're back now with more of our conversation on the best of Tailgate Talk. You've got a picture in this book, and I've seen it several times, and I've heard the story behind it, but the one where he's standing there and he's got two different shoes on.
Yeah, absolutely.
For the folks who might not know that story, tell that.
Sure. Well, that was in Stockholm in 1912 at the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
He was competing in the decathlon, and one morning he couldn't find his shoes. Part of the, some people say that they were stolen. I'm not sure of that. They were, in any case, went missing, misplaced. And he and his coach, Pop Warner, had to struggle to find another pair of shoes. They came up with a pair of mismatched shoes, different sizes, different, everything was different about them. So he had to, for one pair of the shoes, he had to wear 2 pairs of socks just to make them fit. And yet he went out and competed in 2 events and won them, even with the bad shoes.
Wow.
On his way to winning the decathlon by a bigger margin than anybody in history.
Well, and I think that kind of highlights what you were mentioning earlier. Is it's hard to compare athletes, from different eras because of diet and workout regimen and stuff like that. Because there wouldn't be too many athletes today who would have to compete wearing different shoes.
I don't think so. When people ask me who's the modern equivalent of Jim Thorpe, I would say it was an Alabama guy, probably Bo Jackson, right? Who could do anything. He didn't compete in the decathlon, but he probably could have and done well. But it is hard to compare from different generations because of all of that.
Yeah, because I think it's interesting you bring up the great Auburn running back Bo Jackson. But he was never really involved in Hollywood. He was never really involved in in the Olympics, especially to the scale that Jim Thorpe was. And I think part of that is as sports has modernized, people are athletes are told to specify in one sport, focus on one sport. Where I'm sure in Thorpe's era that was way less common.
It was far less common, and in Bo Jackson's era, he was rare in that he played 2 sports, right?
Mm-hmm.
Football and baseball. Well, Thorpe played at least 3.
Yeah.
Now at what is it? At age 10 or 11, the young athletes are siphoned off into one specialty, which I don't particularly like myself, but I understand the pressures for it. But I think playing all the sports is good for kids.
No doubt, and I have a coworker at the newspaper I work for who swears that if Dan Marino played in today's NFL, that Dan Marino would absolutely dominate. And it's just it's almost impossible to actually compare that. But tell me a little bit about your perspective about how good of an athlete Thorpe would be in the modern era.
He would. Well, I think that football was his best sport. And I think he would have to, he would play either offense or defense, probably as a runner. I'd compare him a little bit to Paul Hornung in that he would be both a great halfback and a kicker, which Hornung was as well. But he was better than Hornung in both of those aspects. So, he would be an All-American and a great pro in football today. He wasn't the biggest guy in the world. He was about 6 feet and 190 to 200 pounds. But he was swift and strong and very agile.
You mentioned Paul Hornung of the great Green Bay Packers, of which I am a huge fan, by the way. You're up there in Wisconsin. But we'll segue. And I wanted to talk about some of your other books. You have written a book about Vince Lombardi.
Absolutely.
As well. Tell us about that.
Yeah, When Pride Still Mattered. It was my first sports biography. I sort of consider it the first of a trilogy, from Lombardi to Roberto Clemente to Jim Thorpe. And Lombardi was my chance to write not just about, I did grow up in Wisconsin when the glory years Packers were dominant, but it gave me an opportunity to explore Lombardi, the meaning of Lombardi. I mean, he struggled for 20 years as an assistant coach before he got his chance to prove himself. He was 46 years old and about to give up football and go into banking when Green Bay gave him the shot. And in, those 9 seasons up in Green Bay, he was unparalleled, won 5 championships in 7 seasons, and became the iconic figure who's now has the Super Bowl trophy named for him because his Packers won the first 2 Super Bowls. But it was my chance to write about competition and success in American life and leadership and what it takes and what it costs. And I tried to do that all through his incredible life.
Going into banking, can you imagine going up to his window and you've got a problem with your account?
Well, one of the stories in my book is a kid who had the paper route in Green Bay that included the Lombardi house on Sunset Circle. And the kid said he was scared to death for 2 years that when he came to collect, that Vince Lombardi would answer the door.
That's awesome. I mean, and I'm sure you touch on this in the book, the impact Lombardi has had on coaches still to this day. They still use his speeches, and at the start of seasons, Jimmy Valvano, when he gave that really great speech at the ESPYs, he brought up how his first game, I can't remember where he was at the time. I think it was maybe Rutgers or NC State, but he brought up a Vince Lombardi speech, and I think that just speaks to how he resonated beyond just football.
Absolutely. Some people misunderstand Lombardi a little bit. I mean, he was a tough guy, but he leavened that with love for his players. And there's some coaches who think that being Lombardi means you're just a tough coach, and there's more to it than that. Lombardi knew how to get the best out of all his players.
Awesome. And you mentioned Roberto Clemente. I would like to talk a little bit about that, because I'm sure you talk a lot about how he was very dedicated to giving back to people.
Yeah, so many athletes are called heroes, but very few of them really are. Roberto Clemente was. His motto was, if you have a chance to help others and fail to do so, you're wasting your time on this earth. He was a very proud Puerto Rican and Latino, the first great Latino player in the major leagues. And when there was an earthquake in Nicaragua in 1972, he organized humanitarian aid to help the people down there. And he heard that the strongman dictator of Nicaragua, Antonio Somoza, was withholding the aid for his own purposes. Clemente said, well, if I go, it'll get to the people. He boarded a plane which crashed on takeoff. Mm-hmm. So he died heroically trying to help humanity.
Yeah, and that's the first thing I ever learned about him, was that he passed away literally trying to give back to others and make a difference in the world.
Yeah, that was Clemente. He truly did that. Aside from being a great baseball player and a beautiful right fielder, I think one of the great thrills in baseball is to watch a right fielder make a great throw to third base or home plate. Mm-hmm. And Clemente could do that. I can't tell you how many people I interviewed who said that was the strongest memory they had of baseball, was watching Clemente make a great throw.
Yeah, and unfortunately that was before my time, so I never got to watch him personally. But it sounds like he was one heck of a player and was really able to use this platform to make a difference.
That's exactly right.
So you've got a book signing coming up next week up in Nashville, not too far from us.
Yeah, I do. I'm going from Tulsa to Oklahoma City to Nashville. I'll be there on August 25th at a great independent bookstore there called Parnassus. And interestingly, I'll be in conversation with my son, Andrew Marinus, who's also a writer who works at Vanderbilt and lives there. So that'll be a lot of fun. I'll get to see Andrew and his family and also talk with him at the bookstore.
So I guess you get to save money on a hotel then.
He's got 2 little kids. It's too hectic.
Okay.
Well, Nashville. You ever visited Nashville before?
Oh, I've been there many times. As a matter of fact, I teach every other year at Vanderbilt. So, yeah, it's one of my sort of homes away from home.
There you go. Nashville's growing like crazy. I hope you can get in there with all the road construction.
Yeah, I know. Every time you look around, there's a new apartment or something going up.
Yeah, it's a great place to be. And I would love to maybe possibly get up there. What did you say the name of the book signing? It was Parnassus?
Oh, great. Yeah, Parnassus, Parnassus.
Okay.
It's in the Green Hills neighborhood. It's the great independent bookstore in Nashville. And I think I start at probably 6 or 6:30 on next Wednesday night.
Next Wednesday night. Maybe I can swing that.
It'll be fun.
Are you going to just doing the Jim Thorpe book, or are you going to have your
Yeah,
other
no, I
ones there
mean, people can ask me questions about something else, but I'm there for the Thorpe book, yeah.
Okay. All right. I didn't know if folks could come by some of the other ones. So.
Yep, sure they can. Yeah, they'll have some of the others there.
Okay.
Cool. Well, we really appreciate you coming on the show and, plugging this book with us, Path Lit by Lightning, by David Marinus, who's also the best-selling author of When Pride Still Mattered, and this book highlights on the life of Jim Thorpe, but also check out his books on Roberto Clemente, and Vince Lombardi. And Mr. Marinus, thank you very much for coming on.
Well, before we let
my
you...
pleasure, guys. Great to talk with you.
Before we let you go, tell folks how they can get your book.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's readily available. It's already a bestseller, so you can get it at any Costco, at Barnes & Noble, on Amazon, or at your independent bookstore.
Great. Well, Mr. Marinus, I hope to see you next Wednesday. If you want to see Mr. Marinus, go to Nashville and go to Parnassus and check him out. And
have a good time in Nashville. Yeah,
absolutely. And once again, we really appreciate it, and hope you have a good rest of your weekend.
Thanks so much. Good talking with you guys.
Thank you. And we'll be right back on Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
From day one, First National Bank has been built on a strong foundation of community first. First to lend a helping hand, first to help with community events and fundraisers, first to support local students, athletic programs, and civic organizations, first to support events like United Way, Relay for Life, and many more charitable events, and most importantly, working for our great community. Without you, there'd be no First National Bank. Making communities great together, that's what we strive for.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon. P4 Physical Therapy is a new outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in Athens, Huntsville, and Winfield, Alabama, as well as Fayetteville and Knoxville, Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State hometown team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
The world is changing.
Changes. The Tailgate Talk app has changed. It's got a new name and a new look. It's now known as PAS Plus, and it's your home for Applebee's Tailgate Talk, along with James Clement Sports and Calhoun Basketball.
Change never hurt, huh?
Look for the download links at PASnetwork.net or TailgateTalk.net. PAS Plus, Play Action Sports, plus a little extra. PAS Plus from Play Action Sports. Welcome back to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Odie Harris, cornerback extraordinaire. We're talking to him live from the Bahamas. Wish we were in the Bahamas.
Yeah, I wish it was with you, brother.
I'm telling you.
Hey, man,
I got one thing.
I'm glad to get back.
I've got one thing to say to you, brother. Houston Oilers, Houston Oilers.
Houston Oilers,
number one.
Number one. That's right, man. I love playing for the Houston Oilers. Actually, that was my last year in the NFL, man. And my coach, Jeff Fisher, man, Hey, we was headed for the playoffs and everything. And my quarterback, Steve, I got to play with quarterback Steve
Aaron McNair.
Quarterback extraordinaire, man. I love Steve, man. Chris Gisman, Blaine Bishop, Jackson, man, Steve Jackson. Man, we had a squad, man.
Yeah, they spent that.
I think that was the best team.
No, go ahead.
I think that was the best team. I think that was one of the best teams I ever played with, except when I was signed with the Cowboys out of Tampa. We had Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman. Hey, man, they were my boys, man.
They ain't no good.
I'll never forget that one.
They ain't no good.
So those teams were good. But let's talk about the team that you signed with coming out of Sam Houston, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They were fresh off. That brought back some bad memories quick, didn't it?
No, not
okay,
bad.
Great.
It's like, I can't forget. Man, I can't leave Tampa out, man. That's why I got my start.
That's right.
Man, Ray Perkins was a hard nose like me. I was already hard nosed, and Ray Perkins was hard nosed, man. Disciplinarian. Hey, man. One day I woke up late for training camp. For training camp that morning, man, and I woke up late. I thought I was gonna get cut. I made it about 2 minutes late for practice, and I thought Ray Perkins was gonna cut me.
Wow, he was strict.
Because he was hard like that.
Well, that's probably why he didn't work out with college kids then when he was at Alabama. A lot of us, which he followed, Bear Bryant. So that's a tough gig to follow.
Yeah. That's a tough gig to follow, man. He didn't play, man. He didn't play.
Now, Odie, you played for Coach Belichick and Coach Saban, right?
That's right. I played for Belichick and Saban in '91. I signed with I left Dallas and signed with the Cleveland Browns, and Belichick was the head coach. That was his second year head coach, and then Nick Saban was my defensive coordinator.
That's what I thought.
And secondary coach.
So
I played for some of the best.
Was Coach Saban? Which we know how Belichick is, but was Coach Saban like he is now, or was he learning to be like he is now?
No. Coach Saban was a player's coach. Hey man, I love Saban. I love playing with Saban, man. He puts you in the right position to do what you need to do to be successful. If you did it, you ain't had nothing to worry about.
And he's a cornerback coach, so he was probably your position coach, right?
Yeah, he was the secondary coach too, and the defense coordinator.
Okay.
Now, you played with Antonio Langham, correct?
Did I play with Langham? No, I didn't. You talking about the Cardinals?
No, with the Browns.
I mean, no, Langham wasn't there.
Langham came after.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got it mixed up.
Yeah, no, Langham came after me because I was in Cleveland in '91 and '92.
Okay. What was it like playing What was it like playing in that old Cleveland stadium?
Man, you know what? The dog pound. I'm telling you, listen. I hated Cleveland, but I love playing in the dog pound. Man, look, it could be 16 below, but when you get to that stadium, man, you don't feel nothing. And you just feel nothing but the Browns vibe, man. And it was awesome playing in the dog pound, man. I'm telling you. It was so awesome playing the dog pound.
I just hated when they moved to Baltimore.
Yeah.
That was the thing. Because it was.
But you know what, man? They moved to Baltimore, but I think all they wanted was a stadium. Look, I'm going to say this. Like, all they wanted was a new stadium. Okay, they left Cleveland because Cleveland wouldn't build them a stadium, and they went to Baltimore. But then Cleveland got a new stadium. Bam. So that's all they wanted.
Yeah.
The Browns would have never left. Let's look at the Houston Oilers. The Houston Oilers, all they wanted was a new stadium. They left and went to, Tennessee, but then they get a new stadium in Houston. That's all they wanted.
Yeah,
just build a stadium and the team won't leave.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yep. That's honest to goodness
But
truth.
it worked out good for us because Tennessee Titans is just right up the road, and
we love them.
Yeah, we've enjoyed having them over the years.
Yeah, but I mean, that was my last year, man. I didn't go to Tennessee.
Oh, that was.
I loved my whole career, man.
So you were on the last team at the
Astrodome.
Wow, that's something cool, man.
Okay, I had number 27, the Houston's last year in Houston, and then they drafted Eddie George, out of Ohio State.
Yep.
And his number was 27. I was going to sell my jersey to him for like $2 million. I didn't make the team.
Oh.
I think that's why they took me, because I didn't know I was going to ask for so much for the jersey.
Oh, that's great. Oh, man.
Buddy, tell us about your book, From the Gridiron to the Pulpit. I mean, we're all Christians here.
Man.
We love it. I cannot wait to hear your story.
Yes, man. I'm writing the book, man. God placed that on my heart like a long time ago, man, when I first started in ministry. And I'm just now really starting to write it and do it, and it should be out within the next month. So I've been hard at it, but I moved to Florida, so I've been working on getting my new house and stuff. So I just kind of put me back a month. But that's my story, man. Like, I played football all my life, and I loved football. But then I stopped playing football, and then I fell in love with Jesus, man. I got saved. And I fell in love with Jesus, man. So it's like, I didn't miss a beat. So God said, look, we're going to write from the gridiron to the pulpit. And I got the same love for football, and I got even more love for Jesus Christ today. So I don't even miss it. I don't even miss football, because I found something that's better.
That's right. He filled your heart with something even better. That's right.
That's right, man. That's right, man. You know, and I love him so much, man, because I shouldn't even be living today. I shouldn't even be here, man, because I was so wild it didn't make no sense. But his saving grace saved me.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? By his grace, I'm only here only by his grace.
That's right. We all are. You're right.
That's for sure.
When I ran across an article,
I want to put it in the book, man, and help all the young guys, let them know. Look, no matter what you've done in your life, Jesus Christ loves you, and ain't nothing can disqualify you from being saved and being loved by Jesus Christ.
Amen.
We need to hear that too.
When I ran across an article doing some research on you, and this may be a sensitive subject, but you may cover it in your book. But I'd seen an article where you kind of went AWOL there for a little while.
Well, tell me what you see, and then what did it say?
Well,
when you say I went AWOL.
Well, it's just like you were missing there for a while. And
okay, okay. What was? Listen, okay, I'm gonna tell you about the story behind that.
Okay, because I can't remember it all.
I was in. I mean, for a while, it wasn't really a while. I was in San Diego getting treatment for my concussions, and then the people that I was getting treated from, I got pissed off at them, and I left and went to stay in California with in LA with my daughter. Okay. So that was like. And I didn't even know that they had reported me missing. And I called. Somebody told me that I was missing. They said I was missing on the news. And I called the police. I said, I'm not missing. I'm with my daughter. But
I'm right here. I know where I'm at.
Hey man. And then I called them, and they spoke with my daughter. And she said, "Oh, he's straight. He's right here." But you know how stuff gets
turned. Yeah.
But I wasn't AWOL, man. I got pissed off. But I probably shouldn't have got pissed off, but I did. But that's
we all do.
I mean, the concussions, man. That's one of the symptoms, man. These concussions, you get you overreact to a lot of stuff, that you shouldn't overreact to. But I might have overreacted, and that is what it is, So.
But do you suffer
that's part of my history, man.
Do you suffer much with the CTE, Odie?
Matter of fact, let me put this disclaimer in there. I've been overreacted all my life.
Oh man!
but go ahead, man.
I was going to ask you if you suffered much from the CTE, because it's out there and it's more viewable as real, and we have a lot of people that focus on that.
Man, you're right, man. And when I couldn't understand like some of the stuff I was going through and I was dealing with and I was feeling. So that's when I went to California to get treatment and find out what the hell is wrong with me. So I went up there, man, and I found out the whole deal behind the concussions and all that. And now I understand. Instead of me being feeling hopeless and in despair, I found out that it really wasn't me, but it was because of all the concussions I had that I felt like I felt.
Yeah.
So because it's depressing, man. I had 3 guys commit suicide that I played with.
Oh my goodness!
You know what I'm saying? That I played with Dave Dewison, Andre Waters, and Tom McHale from the Buccaneers, they were some of the first ones that commit suicide, man, because they didn't understand it. So, like, you understand, like, why am I like this? You know, I'm feeling inadequate. Like, I can't do what I used to do, and I can't, you know, I don't feel like I used to feel. So you think it's you, but it's from all the concussions that we suffered over the years. You know, that's why. So I found that out, man, and now I try to help every player that I know that's suffering with it. You know, because if they diagnose 99 players with CTE out of 100, that's self-explanatory.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, how many concussions?
You don't have to.
How many concussions did you have, or that you knew that you had?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Okay, I might have had 3 or 4 diagnosed concussions, but I've been not really. When we know what concussion really is, I might have had 50 or 60.
Oh man,
you know what I'm saying? Because I like to hit. I like to hit. And I would hurt myself trying to hit somebody.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
back in our day, you just got knocked, loopy, and you took some smelling salts and you went back in.
that was a concussion. Really was a concussion.
Exactly.
Got his bell rung is what they used to say. He got his bell rung.
Your bell rung is a concussion.
It's a concussion. That's exactly right, my friend.
Yeah, back then you didn't know nothing about targeting.
No, it wasn't.
And the NFL, they hear that stuff, so they say, Odie, get up and get back in the game, or you're gonna get cut. You ain't have no job tomorrow. Right. So you got to get up and get back in the game. But we didn't know that, but they knew. That's why they settled with us through the concussion settlement.
Yeah, absolutely. We sure are glad that you.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I'm glad that you're in the beach, in the water, and you found Jesus and you found your concussion system. Man, I'm happy for you.
Yes,
I really
yes,
am.
Sir. I'm happy too, man. Happy too, man. But you know what? Through all this process, if I wouldn't have had God, you know what? I might have been like Dave Dewars. I might have been like Andre Waters. Wow. I might have been like Tom McHale. But I had Jesus, and Jesus gives you hope, no matter what your situation is.
Yes, sir.
You get to tell that story.
He gives me hope. He gives me hope, man.
And you get to tell that story from the gridiron to the pulpit. We can't wait for it to come out.
That's right. Hey, when it come out, man, I'm gonna give you a free copy, man.
I'll sign it if you do that, please. Yeah, absolutely.
And we want to have you back on to discuss it as well. So yeah, we'll keep up with you and have you back on, man.
And my name's Tom McClung, by the way. I'm Tom McClung. You accepted my Facebook friend request, so stay in touch.
Okay,
I've been doing with the guitar.
We good, man.
Absolutely.
Hey, man, we can do it. I got a buddy. Well, y'all in Alabama, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, my buddy now, one of my best friends is Isaac Hope from the Cowboys. He lives in Birmingham.
Oh, cool.
I'm coming to see him real soon.
Okay, we're about an hour and a half.
Y'all, we can do it live. We can do it live, man.
There you go.
Let me know.
We are an hour and a half north. It's a short drive. We do hope to see you, bud.
I always fly to Atlanta, so I can stop on y'all and see y'all on the way to him.
Excellent.
There we go.
Thanks, Odie. We got to go, man. Go get back in that water. It's getting hot down there.
All right, man. Love y'all, man.
Love you too, buddy.
Take care, buddy.
Thanks.
Appreciate you.
Bless you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That was Odie Harris. That was a great interview.
Great.
Man, what a way. What a way. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
If you're looking for an alternative to the insane prices of buying furniture, appliances, and electronics outright, why not consider rent-to-own at Buddy's Home Furnishings in Athens? High quality at low prices. Top brands like GE, Maytag, Samsung, and Ashley. No credit approval and flexible payment options. See what you can take home today. Visit Buddy's Home Furnishings in Athens at 600 South Jefferson Street in the Athens Shopping Center. Go online to buddyrents.com or call 206-9505. Buddy's Home Furnishings. Addiction can have a crippling effect on everyone involved, leading to health problems and behavioral disorders. SOAR Addiction Recovery can help with their comprehensive and confidential treatment. SOAR understands the heartache and pain of addiction and can empower you to re-engage in a meaningful life. If you or someone you know needs help, don't wait. Call SOAR Addiction Recovery. That's SOAR at 374-3858. Located at 30521 Ardmore Avenue in Ardmore. It's time for you to soar. Call now, 374-3858. SOAR Addiction Recovery. The Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship has been set up to honor the legacy of Bama Zach Green, a huge fan of the Crimson Tide, along with Limestone County sports. The scholarship will go each year to a male and female athlete from Limestone County. Checks should be made out to Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship and can be sent in care of Garth Garris, 13833 Pinnacle Drive, Athens, Alabama, 35613. Donations can also be made in person at First State Bank of the South at 1319 Highway 72 East in Athens. Thank you for showing your support for local athletes by giving to the Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship. Need custom screen printing or other promotional products? Got You Covered Screen Printing and More in Athens is, well, got you covered. Screen printing, promotional items, stickers, graphic design, vinyl for signs and garments, and other customized products. They also offer local pickup and delivery services, rush orders, volume discounts, and can customize any project to meet your needs. Got You Covered guarantees to get the job done and will work hard to make sure you're completely satisfied. Call today, 444-4500, or stop by and see them at 800 Highway 72 West, Suite K in Athens. Got You Covered Screen.
I'll never forget the day I decided to go out for the football team. Mr. Banks, the JV football coach and my history teacher, asked me to stay after class. I thought I was in trouble. He said, "Hey, Darius, have you thought about going out for football? I think you'd be great." Fact is, I never played football. Fact is, I never had anyone tell me I'd be great at something. So, with no experience at all, I signed up. And a week later, I padded up and was running drills on the field. I never was great, but playing high school sports was one of the greatest experiences of my life. I was accepted by my teammates, and I learned that when someone believes in you, you can believe in yourself.
Encourage a student you know to take part in a high school sport. This message presented by the AHSAA and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
Check out the WKAC sports page. Go to WKAC1080.com and click on the WKAC sports icon. You can listen to the current sports stream as well as game archives, past coaches shows, and Applebee's Tailgate Talk on demand. If you're on your smartphone, you can stay automatically updated as new items are posted. The WKAC sports page. Another reason why your best source for Limestone County sports is WKAC1080.com and 1080 WKAC. You're listening to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
We've got XM Sirius Fantasy Sports host Jennifer Piacenti, but they call her Jen. So we're just going to break right out there and call you Jen. If you notice, everybody has a nickname, so we got nicknames. Now we mentioned before we get these guys over here, and I've never done the fantasy sports. You are a master. You have a master's in music. In singing.
Right. That's right.
Okay, so this is my question. Your final jury before you get your master's.
Yep.
What did you sing on your final jury?
I think that I sang Caro Nome by Giuseppe Verdi.
Caro Nome by Giuseppe Verdi. Okay.
Yeah.
The reason I'm asking, my daughter...
You guys know that one, right?
Sure, absolutely.
My daughter was in the music program at the University of Alabama, Birmingham, so I know she had to go through juries, and some of the stuff she played was... If you don't mind, send me a link. There's no way I can spell it. I'll message you later. I would like to hear the actual song, because it's not like you're up there singing Carmina Burana with the piano behind you or something.
No. Actually, it's funny. We did a special on Fantasy Alarm this week where they did Meet the Family, and so they interviewed me for an hour, and they asked me to sing a little bit of it, and I actually sang about 60 seconds of it, so you could even find that on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah, singing here in my bunker with no warm-up. So.
Hey, I love the palm trees in the background.
Yeah, that's to make me feel like I
don't know if you can see mine. This is my lake in the background of mine right there.
Yeah, I see lake. Yeah,
that's my lake. That's my background.
That's nice. I have a picture of a palm tree.
It works. It works.
Now, there's also a YouTube video out there of you singing "All I Want for Christmas Is You." And I watched that one.
True.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a style.
I figured I'd go ahead and watch it. Folks are putting their Christmas lights up, these days. And so I thought, okay, I'll watch a Christmas video. So.
Vance and the Valiants. One of my favorite songs ever.
Well, no, this was the Mariah Carey version.
The Mariah Carey song.
But about a fifth higher than she sings it. I did it up a lot, so it sounds a little different. And I was guesting with the Turtle Creek Corral in Dallas, Texas. So my roots are Texas, y'all.
Hey, I love Texas.
Sorry.
I used to go to Texas in a while.
Love Texas.
Good barbecue.
I'm a Cowboys fan, so.
Yeah, me too.
There you go. All right.
I've been as far west as Midland, as far east as Beaumont, as far south as Houston, and far north as not quite Amarillo, but I made it to Texas Tech. What's the city, Texas Tech? Love it. Thank you very much. It's so flat out there in Lubbock, your dog can run away, and 3 days later, you can still see his behind running away. It is flat.
Okay, we got to know, Jen, how did you get to singing, doing all this singing? How did you get into fantasy sports?
So, my dad and his brothers played a lot of sports when I was growing up, and I was in the ballet studio, but I would go watch them play intramural softball, and they were really good, and I just loved it, and I would watch them in their all-night tournaments. And when I moved to New York years later, I remember watching baseball on TV, and I was hearing some guys I was with talk about how they were playing fantasy baseball, and I thought, I can do that. How hard can that be? And it turns out I can. So I met some people that are in some professional leagues in New York, the Tout Leagues, which is all experts. So these are people from, ESPN, USA Today, all the big places, CBS, and they play and they compete and they build their fantasy teams, and then people watch from home and figure out who are they touting, who are their sleepers, etc. So I got to know them, and before you know it, I'm in the club. So it's a blast. I do football, I do baseball. I work at Sirius XM Fantasy Sports Radio. I host a show called Alarm After Hours on Friday nights from 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. Eastern. And I also work for Fantasy Alarm, which is an awesome site. We give you so much free content. So even if you don't play fantasy sports, it's interesting because you get to see our takes on every sport.
Yeah.
When there are sports.
Yeah.
When there are sports.
There are fantasy sports, but you got to have real sports going on.
Yeah, well, you can just have a fantasy about sports, which is what I have right now. At least NFL draft.
Yeah, me and my buddies, we've done, just the free sports, fantasy baseball. And basically, I've done a little football, but mostly baseball. I've done baseball for years, buy the books, and write it down, and then we'll draft our teams. And we've done it, for and just had fun. And, and we were getting ready to do fantasy baseball up until all this happened. And now, no draft.
I know, it's crazy. For me, it's my favorite time of the year. I fly to New York and I draft with a bunch of hedge fund guys.
Wow.
It's awesome. And so we went ahead and did our draft because I was already in New York. But my other draft, which I play with a lot of other writers and people in the industry, it got postponed because, of course, all the strategies are going to change depending on the length of the season.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know that the MLB and the MLB Players Association came to an agreement 2 days ago. So it is, they do have parameters for how the season will move forward, and they do have a good faith agreement that they'll play all the way into December. Be
into December. I know they said maybe a lot of double headers.
Yeah, double headers, and talk to move into domes or warm weathers, places. And of course, it all depends. Everybody wants to have this season. Everybody, of course, the players want to get paid. And I think we all need it for our collective consciousness as America. I don't think there'd be anything cooler than on July 4th, baseball coming back.
Oh, yeah.
I bet
good thought.
And see, Texas is opening a new stadium this year.
Yeah.
So, they're having to sit and wait about that. So
I know. Just a bummer. And they got some good pitching there finally. And it's a bummer.
Locally here, we have the Rocket City Trash Pandas, which will be a AA affiliate of the Angels, LA Angels. So we're
and not a team making fun of the Houston Astros. The Trash Pandas.
No.
That name came a long time ago.
No, nothing making fun of the Astros.
Yeah, this was last year before all that.
This was before the Astros come out.
They were always raccoons.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah. This was before the Astros, which that's we could talk about that for a whole show ourselves. But we were looking forward to having our own minor league. We're had an affiliate the Hustle Stars, which they were an affiliate of the A's and the Brewers, and they went away about how long, Jay? About 10 years ago.
Yeah, was it 10? I was thinking it's longer, but okay.
It may have been longer than that. And so we haven't had a minor league baseball team around here in several years, and we're getting ready for minor league baseball again. And now all this happened. So we're just ready for baseball around here again.
Yeah. Now, who do you guys root for? Being in Alabama,
Braves.
Yes,
Braves. They're going to be they should be awesome.
Acuna, we love Acuna.
Him.
So we think that every year, but then
playoffs.
Yeah, it's not the 90s anymore. I know, but Acuna's going number one in most people's fantasy drafts. He is so talented. I love Ozzie Albies. You got great pitching. It's just a really good team. So, and I like Ozuna.
Yeah.
And
and terrible thing happened to Noah Syndergaard last week.
Oh yeah, man! But is that the most Mets thing ever?
Yeah.
the Mets are genius.
That is the most Mets thing ever.
It's like, wow.
What was it? They were supposed to be a good team, and then Cespedes got hurt.
Oh, yeah, because he, stepped in a ditch.
Yeah. And 2 days later, they said he was out playing golf somewhere. So
I bet he was.
But, Jim, could you say this happening a lot now? These guys are trying to stay in shape and everything. Could you see a lot more injuries maybe happening?
I think we see a lot more injuries happening because of what we're asking pitchers to do. That's for sure. What's on the gun and the spin rate and all this, and it's become so elite. And we're seeing so much Tommy John, Chris Sale and Noah Syndergaard. And I wouldn't be surprised if pretty soon Blake Snell. He's had all these elbow issues.
Oh, yeah.
It's such a bummer. So it'll be interesting if they do a contracted season. What will happen? The strain it will put on the pitchers. I hope that they'll expand to 6-man rotations if they go to double headers and try to protect some of the players' health.
And then Garrett Cole just got that big deal from the Yankees.
I know. It's just unbelievable. Have you seen the video of him playing catch with his wife?
Yeah.
She's got a cannon.
She's got a
really?
I've seen that.
She's got a cannon. It's awesome.
So Jen, during football season, can I email you for sit or stardom?
Of course. Well, actually, yeah, you totally can. I do twice a week a start sit live stream. You can just log in to Fantasy Alarm and be like, do I start or sit Christian Kirk? And I'll be like, sit.
So what's your impressions of Tua Tagovailoa?
I hope that he's healthy, and I'm rooting for him. I want him to get a shot. I like that kid.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah, we're kind of
and I think this has really hurt him a lot because he was getting ready to have his own pro day, and then all this happened, and now he's put out some videos, showing. But it's hard to just look at videos and the scouts not being there actually seeing him work out.
Yeah, they want to have the medical thing. They want to examine him. They want to make sure he's safe, and I understand why. But I really hope that he's such a cool story, and he's a good kid, and I want him to be successful. I love Joe Burrow too. There's a super talented draft class. With this MLB thing, they've shortened the draft potentially to only 5 rounds this year. And I just feel for these, and next year only 20, and I just feel for these kids that have been working so hard, and this is their life. And when you're an athlete, you don't have a lot of time. I used to also be a professional dancer, and there's a timeline on that,
Oh, yes. And there's a shelf life on that type of stuff. You're exactly.
It's just too bad.
That's what I was going to ask you next. Even though they're not drafts, the scouts know who is what and which baseball players. Will that maybe put a little bit more pressure on the scouts when the management is talking about bringing in a free agent or signing a kid to a minor league deal or something?
Yeah, probably. Because the international deal is changing, the draft. They're going to have to make the right picks, right? And how can you ever make the right picks? You don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure going around. And these minor league kids, they don't get paid anything.
No.
They're making minimum wage at best.
I was at Pearl, Mississippi, watching the M Braves a couple of years ago, and this older couple comes down and they sit. They've got their seats beside the dugout, and the kids come off the field, And she's got a bag of, I don't know, candy bars, bubble gum, just a little care package for the kids in the dugout. You can tell they know exactly who she is. Yeah. They go see her. So I mean, the community, they fall in love with these kids.
Yeah. Well, they're good kids, most of them, and I feel for them. So that was kind of a bummer of the deal. And, they're not even part of the Players Association. So
no, they're not. They're not.
No, negotiating on their behalf.
Yeah.
It's a bummer.
Changing subjects here a little bit. All right. So we've mentioned you're a singer, but you also act too. Now, is it primarily on the stage, or have you done TV or movies? Or okay.
Primarily on the stage, but I moved to LA to kind of start maybe exploring also doing TV, film, etc. I've done commercials, and I've done some modeling, like petite fit modeling, which is actually not what it sounds like. You're just like a human mannequin. They build clothes on you. I'm not a fitness guru, and then I ended up getting all these opportunities all of a sudden with XM and the fantasy sports world, and I got a little derailed, if you will, and I'm having so much fun. Just doing this. I mean, and there's, no work right now in entertainment not a lot of work going on.
Right.
A lot of stuff has been canceled. So
you were in Hello Dolly, if I'm not mistaken.
I was in Hello Dolly at the Muni. Yeah, with John O'Hurley, who played... He was on Seinfeld. He was Peterman.
Uh-oh, Tim's camera just knocked off.
Oh, no.
But you can keep on working.
One of these stupid games. I'm doing this on my phone. One of these stupid games popped up, and so.
So what was your character in Hello Dolly?
Oh, in Hello Dolly, I was just in the ensemble. They brought me in at the last minute. They needed a girl that could sing a high D and dance.
Gotcha.
And they called last minute, yeah.
They didn't bring you in as Miss Minnie or anything like that.
No, they didn't. They had all celebrities for that, and I actually was really excited to get that call because it was last minute, and those are the kind of jobs you love. They're like, "Can you do it next week? We'll pay you X amount. You're going to have a blast." And
you get to hit the high D.
You get to hit the high D, and you get to have a dance feature, and you can bring your dog. And so I was allowed to bring my dog on that contract. They get their own apartment. Yeah, they're like, you get your own apartment, and you can bring your dog. And I was like, all I have to do is sing a high D? Yes!
Absolutely.
Wow. High D, dancing, and dog. So.
And a free apartment.
It's done.
Right, done.
Yeah. Done.
I'm there.
That's great. Well, Jennifer, tell everyone how they can find your XM Sirius Fantasy Sports website so they can sign up and pay you to learn how to put a better team on them. We're all about capitalism here, so.
Yeah. I love that. Actually, my show is called Alarm After Hours. It's on Sirius XM Fantasy Sports Radio, which is XM 210. It is free, I believe, if you have XM, or it's a few dollars a month if you listen online. I'm on Friday nights from 12 to 2, but I'm Eastern time. But I'm also on a lot of times on the Fantasy Alarm show, middle of the day, and I'm on other shows too. But you can always find me on fantasyalarm.com. And I have videos on there. I have articles I write. You can follow me on Twitter at Jen Piacenti. If you go to fantasyalarm.com and you sign up for any of the packages, we have a lot of free content, but if you sign up for anything advanced like DFS lineups, the gym board and draft guide, use code JEN, Jen, and you'll get an extra 15% off for anybody that's listening today.
Sweet.
Wow. Yeah, and you can use that and follow along, and let's have fun together.
Well, that's awesome, Jen.
I do follow you on Twitter. I'm one of your Twitter followers.
Yeah, I do.
So.
Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, and I went back. I've got Sirius XM on my phone, and I went back and listened to an archive of a recent show too. So you can do that.
Thank you. The last few shows we've had to record from our bunkers, like you said, so the sound quality is a little different. But if you listen to regularly, hopefully it'll sound better. I know last week it sounded kind of broken up, and I was bummed. But this whole world is so weird.
Yeah, it's different. It's different for a little while, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It is.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Jen.
Thanks, Jen.
You're
Enjoy
welcome.
the West
Thanks
Coast.
for having me.
Thank you for joining us, my friend.
Hope to have you back.
Thanks, Jen.
Bye,
Thank
guys.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Jennifer Piacenti, also known as Jen, the XM Sirius Fantasy Sports host for Alarm After Hours and FantasyAlarm.com. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk on WKAC, the Big 1080.
If you're looking for an alternative to the insane prices of buying furniture, appliances, and electronics outright, why not consider rent-to-own at Buddy's Home Furnishings in Athens? High quality at low prices. Top brands like GE, Maytag, Samsung, and Ashley. No credit approval and flexible payment options. See what you can take home today. Visit Buddy's Home Furnishings in Athens at 600 South Jefferson Street in the Athens Shopping Center. Go online to buddyrents.com or call 206-9505. Buddy's Home Furnishings. Are you getting the propane service you deserve? At Ferguson LP Gas in Ardmore, you always get the most value for your dollar, professional gas personnel who make safety a high priority, and you can always get in touch with them any day of the year at any time. They accept Visa and MasterCard too. So if you're not happy with your present propane supplier, join the many who have made the switch. Give Ferguson LP Gas in Ardmore a call at 256-423-3320. Come see all your friends at Applebee's in Athens. 12 minutes guaranteed or it's free Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. 7 items to choose from. Can't make it for lunch? Visit them for happy hour, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. or late night. Half-price appetizers with beverage purchase, 6 appetizers to choose from. Call 233-4430 or order online at Applebee's.com and pick your meal up with Carside to go. Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Highway 72 in Athens, just off I-65. Eating good in the neighborhood.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Alabama.
This message presented by the Alabama High School Athletic Association and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
Keep up with local school, travel, youth, and amateur sports throughout the week with a Play Action Sports Update. Listen weekday mornings at 7:30 and weekday afternoons at 1:30 and 3:30 as we bring you the latest scores, news, and announcements from Limestone County and surrounding communities. That's the Play Action Sports Update 3 times a day, Monday through Friday on 1080 WKAC. You've been listening to the best of Tailgate Talk. You can hear the archive of this and other shows online at tailgatetalk.net. Join us next Saturday at 10 a.m. Applebee's Tailgate Talk is a production of Play Action Sports on 1080 WKAC.